Hey everybody, welcome to an Odd Tops, and on this one, because it's Star Wars week, is the top 10 best and worst of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Number 10 being the worst, blah blah blah, horrible, and number 1 being the greatest part of it. So yeah, so that is kind of the gauge. Like you mentioned before about the Doctor, how painful is it? From
1 being
to 10?
Not very painful at all, to 10 being excruciating.
So yeah, 10's the most painful part of Phantom Menace, and number 1's the nicest part of Phantom Menace.
Well, we're talking about characters, not
characters. Yeah.
So the worst character. So
yeah. So who is number 10? And it's an obvious thing, so you can all
everyone's already shouted out already.
So number 10 is Jar Jar Binks. He is the most painful character in the Phantom Menace, and
what's the saying?
See, I don't even have to explain why. You just have to see, like, obviously I'll show a little scene of him in a second, and he's just, because I don't mind annoying characters sometimes and comic relief characters sometimes, but there's a point where it's too much, and this is just ridiculously annoying and stupid, and
like the kid upstairs.
Like the kid upstairs. If you can hear banging and stuff like that, it's the neighbour's kid banging around.
It's Jar Jar Binks.
It's Jar Jar Binks. It is a baby Jar Jar Binks with the Jar Jar Binks family.
Yeah, he is a very poor character. Do you know what? I was actually watching the Blu-ray versions of the films last week, and it actually doesn't look that bad. Though it's quite obvious he's fake, you know. I mean, I know they said they really would have struggled to doing it with a puppet. Yeah. Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sort of puppet, animatronics.
Because
I can see why they were doing it, but it doesn't feel right. Where when you see some other character, like you see C-3PO, he's a robot, but he's real. R2-D2 is a robot, he's real. Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, he's real. He looks real, even though he's a puppet. He looks real. Yeah. You just know. It sort of breaks it up, and you just sort of think. It sort of doesn't even blur. Like, it makes it quite obvious that Jar Jar Binks is fake.
It probably would have been better to even have done, changed him up a bit and done someone in makeup. Yeah. Because you could have done the body easily, and just do makeup. I've seen it done in Star Trek. I've seen it done in other Star Wars movies. Yeah. I mean, the cantina scene in the original Star Wars movie, you had all these aliens. It was just makeup, and they looked great. So that would have been perfect. But no, CGI looks a bit funny now, and it's basically just the character's personality. That's the worst thing, though. Yeah. Just because I don't mind his voice as much sometimes, but he's just a stupid idiot, and I hate him. So that was number 10.
My turtle is savage. My turtle, ravage. Ravage is ravage. I'm stuck.
Okay, so for number 9 we have Nute Gunray. I don't really know much about this character that much.
Other than it's kind of a bit racist. No, it's the Jedi. It's like,
the accent is a bit dodgy.
It's like, I wonder what they're trying to take the mick out of there. And he's like, oh no, it's the Jedi.
So I don't know if it was a purpose thing, or they didn't think about it maybe, and they just had the voice because they thought, we need, the aliens need to have a different kind of accent, and it just sort of slipped in, making it sound like someone was doing an impression of like an Asian person or something. It could have just been a complete, whoops. But I can't see him going, let's be racist. So I think it just sounds like that. And it sounds silly.
Well, to be fair though, even though you might think he might not mean it, he then has another racist character who is on our list. So maybe he is a wee bit racist.
Yeah. But I'm not saying
he definitely is, but it's kind of...
the jury's still out. But it's a bit of a boring character as well. It's not that interesting, I guess.
I'll lift up a bit of trivia for you.
Oh, go on.
That's my nerd face, by the way, if you don't know. The character, the person who played Nute Gunray was also the pilot at the beginning. Do you know when the ship lands and then he goes, "Captain, look!" and then the ship blows up?
Oh, yeah.
He was him, and he was Ki-Adi Mundi, the Jedi next to Yoda
Okay.
So he played 3 characters. He was Nute Gunray, random pilot number 1 who got blown up, and Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Ah, cool. Okay.
So he was he was all 3.
So there's nothing else to say about him really. He's just
He's just such a weak character. He's meant to be like the leader of the Trade Federation, and he was just like, oh no, now there are 2 of them.
Yeah, I think he's a leader of the, and he's supposed to be a bit not evil, but he's not a good guy or a bad guy. No. He should have been a bit more devious. He's
head of a He's head of a corporation. Yeah, he listens to somebody. He listens to a Sith, and he pretty much soils himself every time Darth Maul. Every time Darth Sid is like, this is getting out of hand.
Yeah, he should have been a bit more of a businessman, a bit more like
underhanded,
a boss. He should have been a boss kind of thing, a bit more. He can do this, he can do that, he can get away with this, he can get away with that kind of thing. He should be a bit more of a wheeler dealer kind of thing, and he knows what he's doing. But this guy is just scared all the time. He's literally just, oh no, every single thing. So
Someone's just start bowing. Like, oh no, oh this question I go, oh no.
So that was number 9.
Yeah.
Your queen is lost, your people are starving, and you, Governor, are going to die much sooner than your people, I'm afraid.
Okay, so number 8 is Watto.
The next racist. The Jewish flying greedy Jewish guy.
So we were talking
poor.
about the last one being kind of seems like it's racist, and this one is more stereotype kind of thing.
Yeah.
It very much seems like a Jewish stereotype.
Yeah.
By
the way, I'd like to point out before that, we're not saying that. We're actually saying this is one reason why we don't like the characters is because they've got a few racist undertones. Not because we approve of it or that's so fun. This is why we don't like the characters.
Yeah, it just makes it seem a bit. You feel a bit uncomfortable.
Like you do, It's like, giant Jedi mind tricks don't work on me. Only money.
But if they changed his voice, because the annoying thing is though, I kind of like his character. Because you would have that kind of character. All he wants is money, like deals and stuff like that. But they've made him seem Jewish.
The thing is, it's not just the voice. It's the voice, the nose, because he's got like a big dangling.
He's got the long nose.
And it's like, Jewish people have got big noses, And it's just like, in a way, that is a bit what's it itself. Because not all Jewish people do have big nose, but people associate.
It's a stereotype.
A character with a big nose as being Jewish.
It's like if someone did a caricature of a Jewish person.
Yeah,
they'd have a big nose. They'd have the big ringlets.
It's kind of annoying when you see that because even though it doesn't offend me personally, it's thinking you're thinking, come on lads,
Yeah.
It's not
if
nice.
you was Jewish and you saw it, you'd be like, that's such a Jewish character.
Well, no, I don't know. You might not think, that's a Jew, that's poking. Some people might do that.
You won't think it's poking fun, but they'll say that's definitely a stereotype of what my culture is. Kind of thing.
And it kind of like, it is kind of, and like I said, I can kind of see what you see in that way. He's not a bad character, he's just badly portrayed.
Yeah, if they made him a bit different, changed him a bit, but kept the personality, but it's hard to do, but I do like the whole, he likes deals, he likes the money, because you do get characters like that, but they're not all Jewish people. Yeah. It's a difficult one.
You could have done with a character with the same voice and the same personality without a nose. Easily. Just wasn't missing. Because if he's missing the nose, if he's not got a big dangly nose, and he doesn't speak like oh look at me, oh the wheeler dealer. I suppose not many Jewish people sound like that, but anyway, but still, you've just got this impression that it's like...
But it's one of those things again, it could have just been we didn't think we were going to do a Jewish stereotype, I don't know, it just seemed it was just a complete accident, and it's just like a whoops again kind of thing, and it just wasn't intentional, and I can't think it would be intentional. It might just been just the way they did the character, but I don't know, maybe the person who created it was Jewish and they thought it was funny to do a Jewish stereotype. No idea. I'm just saying it just it's a bit, I don't know.
A bit of a sore subject.
Yeah. So it's a bit weird. So that was number 8, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was number 8. Yeah, so
That you did, huh? The boy's good, no doubts there, huh?
Okay, number 7 is Boss Nass. So famously it's Brian Blessed, a great big voiced guy.
And they give him the worst part ever. You just sit on a chair and go, I'll be one with him.
So they had to make another Gungan a bit annoying, basically. They made the whole species quite annoying. You wouldn't want to meet a Gungan, basically.
No, you wouldn't.
And they got the kingdom looked really lovely and everything like that. And then you go to thinking, oh, it's the king, isn't he? Is he king? Or do they call it king or the president or something like that?
The boss.
But yeah, so they go there and think, oh, we're going to meet him. What's he going to be like? And then he's like
Sat
you
in
did.
a chair. Just sat in a chair, fat.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just a bit over the top kind of thing. They just overdid it to make people. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to make people laugh or something, or I don't know. But he was a bit annoying. He wasn't in that much, but still, he was a character I wasn't interested in. Didn't really have to be in it, but yeah, he wasn't an interesting character.
I didn't like him.
That's the only way we didn't like him. He just wasn't that interesting, and he was just a bit nah kind of thing. He's just a bit annoying. So that's all I really got to say about that one.
Same here.
Yeah.
We shall like this. Maybe we shall being friends.
Okay, number 6 is Anakin Skywalker.
Wizard.
Wizard.
I'm a person and my name is Anakin.
So, played by, I can't remember what the actor's name is, but it's a kid from Jingle All the Way, one of my favourite Christmas movies.
I actually can't think what his name is.
I can't remember what his name is at all.
It's Jake something.
Yeah.
I know it begins with Jake.
But him and Darth Maul were kind of the faces of Phantom Menace, and he was just a bit annoying. And just
because you didn't get a Turbo Man doll, doesn't mean you start kicking off.
He was supposed to be the star of it because he was going to become, Darth Vader. You've got to set him up right, and he's just a whiny kid, and it's just like.
And he comes out with some of those worst stuff. Are you an angel?
Yeah, stuff like that. It's just cheesy and just. Yeah, the lines he had in that movie were just stupid. I mean, he was going woo like a little kid kind of thing, but it was terrible.
This is pod racing.
It's
I've never done that one, but I'll do it again.
It's like they got a kid from like any other family movie, like Jingle All the Way or something, and just stuck that personality of that kind of character in a Star Wars movie. So it just didn't fit properly. What?
Sluyd. Lloyd,
is that
that's
his
his
name?
name.
Okay. He doesn't act now, apparently.
No.
Last thing I heard, I'm not 100% on this, he worked at a slushy type thing in a mall in 2006, and now he's in college. I don't know. But he doesn't act anymore, apparently.
It's probably made his
Maybe
millions.
there's a reason.
Probably made his millions, doesn't need
Yeah.
to do anything else, just go and do whatever he wants now.
Yeah, true. But, yeah, it just
He's
wasn't
not
an
very
interesting character. Like you said, with that, Are You an Angel?
Yeah. It made him really corny. I mean, to be fair, episode 2 and 3 didn't do much good either, but it sort of started from episode 1,
Yeah,
so...
because obviously he's a little kid, he's going to be saying silly things, but some of the things just, they didn't sound right of what would come out of a kid, if you know what I mean. It didn't go, just him going woo and stuff like that. It's just, I wasn't feeling it. No. Not my favourite character, and he was supposed to be one of the mains, and no, if you don't like one of the mains, you've got a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Anakin.
Anakin.
Yeah.
I made this for you, so you'd remember me. I carved it out of a poor snippet. It'll bring you good fortune.
Okay, number 5 now, so we're getting to the alright ones and then to the great ones. Number 5 is Battle Droids.
I personally don't like the Battle Droids. However, Daniel does, that's why we sort of agreed that they should be number 5. So they're not brilliant, but they're not that bad either. So they're 50-50.
Yeah, so the reason I fell in love with them, because in the movie, I do quite like it. I like the way they look. I think they look pretty cool, and I just love the Roger Roger. I kind of like their voice and everything, so I kind of liked them in Phantom Menace, but I fell in love with them because of the Clone Wars TV show, because their personalities all came out and everything. But with Phantom Menace, it's more about just the way they look. I just love the way they look, where the head moves, just how skinny they are and stuff. I just thought it was a cool looking droid. I just thought they looked like there should be millions and millions of them, and I just thought they were ace. And
I think my only problem with the droids is that it's because, I mean, it was, I remember seeing the documentary on like the making of it, and George Lucas described them as they're just fodder, the Jedi cut through them like butter.
Yeah, that's kind of what I like about them. They're so flimsy.
See, that's what I don't like about them, so I think, it's like they present, they're nothing, they're just, they might as well not be there. You know, they're not going to pose any. They're not any sort of threat. They are to normal people because they can point a gun and shoot. But to Jedi, they're nothing. And it's just like, whereas with a stormtrooper, I know this sounds really weird, but with loads of stormtroopers, people are unpredictable.
Yeah.
You know,
People
and they can
think
do
and
more.
plan and
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
that.
Whereas droids don't. They're just the height, and that's why I thought they were quite one-dimensional and a bit boring. It's funny that you said about the Clone Wars they're coming through the personalities.
Well, their personalities are amazing. They have little banters with each other and stuff like that. They proper make me
I've
laugh.
not really seen much of the Clone Wars,
They're
so
genius.
I probably missed out. That's probably where I've missed out
Oh,
on
they're
that.
genius, isn't it? Yeah, there's certain scenes in that show that it makes me so funny. Like, I'm going to mention it quickly. There's a bit where there's a ship going down and the captain of the ship leaves, so one of the droids is left in charge and he's sat on the seat, he's all happy. He's like, right, I'm in charge now and everything, and then the whole thing blows up. And they make me laugh so much. So I've fallen in love with the droids since Phantom Menace and since I've seen their personalities grow. I know they're all feeble and they're weak and stuff like that, but it's just the way they are. They proper make me laugh, so that's the battle droids. So number 4 is Sebulba. One character, surprisingly in our top ones, that isn't really in it that much.
No, he's
but
not.
He does kind of make it, an impact on you because he's a good character that hasn't got a lot of screen time at all. But you do remember him.
Yeah.
Because he's nasty.
In a way, he's a bit like Darth Maul, criminally
Yeah.
underused. You know, he's a bit of. I mean, then again, he's not the best character, but that kind of also again shows you the weakness of the film.
Yeah.
That we've had to put in someone there who's in there by default, really. Because there's no one else better. There's no one else other than the characters who were above him.
Yeah.
There's no one else. Like I said, his nearest competition is battle droids.
Yeah.
You know, and those two alone, battle droids and Sebulba, it's like, well, that we actually struggled with that, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were like, who do we like?
Yeah.
And we had to really sort of think about it, and we sort of put him in there by default. There was no one who stood out, and that's what's kind of weak
So
about it.
I think the reason Sebulba's in it because he's only got a short bit because of his actions in it. He's trying to sabotage the Anakin's pod, so he has kind of a link to that.
Yeah.
And then Jar Jar steals the food, and he grabs him, and he just seems evil. He seems nasty.
Yeah,
and
he's
I
a
kind of like
fuck.
that kind of. Yeah, he's a fuck,
He's
and
a
I like
fuck.
that kind of character. He sort of stood out from all the other bland characters. He had a big personality, and it was kind of good, but they just didn't use him, and he was like. He was nasty. He was trying to sabotage things. He sabotaged everybody.
He was
on the
willing.
pod race.
Yeah, he was willing to sabotage a young boy's pod race, which could kill him.
Yeah, he
Because
didn't care.
he didn't care. He's like, I don't care. I want to win.
Because all the way through the pod race, everybody else was breaking down, crashing. He was just laughing all the way through, and everything. He was loving it. And I loved him in the race. I thought he was brilliant.
Oh, that just reminded me of the scene where that little guy with like the weird head, and he goes and he goes, and he blows up.
That noise is brilliant.
I don't know. Me, James,
do
used to love that part.
But yes, Bulba was a cool character. He wasn't used much, but I do remember him. I've always remembered him because every time I think Tatooine, Sebulba's one of the first ones that just clicks in my head straight away because he was a cool character. So yeah, he's number 4.
He is number 4.
So we're up to the top 3 now. These are the good ones now.
Yeah.
And number 3 is Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's probably the worst out of the best, but he's not the worst character ever. He's good. He's good, but even him. I'm not saying he didn't have any screen time because he was in it all the way through, but even Qui-Gon Jinn to me didn't seem like he was used the right way. If you know what I mean. He just didn't have interesting things to say or anything like that. Not much anyway. He had bits and bobs, but yeah, I think he's just his battle scenes were the good bits.
Yeah, I think he was let down a bit in terms of personality. I think it was quite clear that
He was like a Jedi. He was very monotone, very
yeah,
disciplined,
kind of. Actually, I think he was a bit of a rebel.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
He bent the rules. Like for example, he took Anakin Skywalker, knowing that the council would refuse it.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And he went head to head with the council by saying, "Well, screw you. I'm taking him as my Padawan learner." And they were like, "You can't do that."
Yeah.
He made a deal about selling the Queen's ship. Well, even though she was there, and she was like, and Padme was like, the Queen will not approve. The Queen doesn't need to know. That's
yeah. I get what you mean. But he's got the Jedi thing because he's always calm.
He's
completely calm, and it's perfect for Liam Neeson because it's a great thing because he just completely does like focused, calm, and just does what he thinks is right for him. Yeah, kind of thing. Not in a selfish way.
Even though he does. He does take the law into his own hand. He's a bit of a rebel. He's still a good Jedi. Yeah. It doesn't make him a bad guy.
He doesn't do anything that he does in like I'll get this for this, or in a bad way. Yeah. He does everything for the good.
For the greater good.
Even if he has to bend the rules slightly.
Yeah.
But he does it because he cares, because he needs to. Yeah, it's what he has to do.
Yeah.
And so he is a good character. And
I mean, again, he is very tolerant as well, because I mean it's him who takes on Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks was going to be put in prison or even put to death, and he goes and rescues Jar Jar Binks. He obviously he wants to free Anakin and his mother, but obviously he can't free them both. So he's very.
He gets himself involved.
Yeah,
basically.
He likes to help people if he can.
Yeah, so he's a good character. I did like him, but he wasn't the most interesting out of them all. But he was a good one. I did like him, and I like Liam Neeson. So yeah, so that's number 3.
Number 3.
I can see there's no fooling you, Anakin. We're on our way to Coruscant, the central system in the Republic, on a very important mission.
So number 2 is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ben Kenobi.
Ben Kenobi, yes. So great.
Again, like despite the accent.
Yeah, the accent's a bit. But they had to do the accent.
Yeah,
it wouldn't make any sense of Alec Guinness at all.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor was a good Obi-Wan. I actually liked it. I really did like him as well. He's my favourite character.
Yeah.
And I thought again he's a complete contrast to Qui-Gon Jinn, whereas Qui-Gon Jinn's willing to break the rules or bend them at least to help if he needs to. Obi-Wan's just like a goody two shoes.
Yeah, he's always questioning it, saying, "Why are you doing this? You shouldn't do this.
You shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
You should be doing this. You should be doing what the council tell you to do. You shouldn't be training a 9-year-old boy. He's too old. Blah 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 blah." So I do, but then at the same time, he is very much how you would envision a proper Jedi. Whereas like when you say, "Where's Qui-Gon?" Sort of like what. But then again, at the same time, he doesn't, because he's quite intolerant, whereas Qui-Gon's tolerant.
Yeah. So they're like opposite of each other kind of thing. Yeah.
They go well together though.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
You can, in some way, you could say
like the odd couple.
Yeah, the odd couple. I was going to say chalk and cheese, but they're not that bad because they do have a comparison. But then obviously you can tell they've got a bond because of how upset Obi-Wan is when Qui-Gon dies.
Yeah.
And obviously he's cradling his master and he's crying. So obviously he does love him, and he does have that bond. Whereas when he might question his master's actions, he knows deep down his master's a good person.
Yeah, they make up for each other's faults basically.
Yeah.
So any time Qui-Gon has a fault, Obi-Wan's there to fill that fault and back and forth, kind of thing. Yeah, they balance each other out. That's a good way to put it.
And again, plus he's quite capable. As with his lightsaber, I mean, like in the end, obviously in terms of the final battle, Darth Maul was obviously clearly the better of all three.
Yeah.
But then I'd say Obi-Wan was quite capable as well, whereas Qui-Gon was obviously, you could tell because he was an older Jedi. He was sort of like he was a bit more mobile than Obi-Wan was in A New Hope. But he wasn't as he didn't do backflips and cartwheels and that. Whereas Obi-Wan did do a few things like that. Whereas Qui-Gon didn't.
Yeah.
So I thought he was quite. I like that about him.
So yeah, I did like Obi-Wan, and they had to do the accent, even though it didn't. It was good. It was fine. But it wasn't that much. You notice all the way through, like, oh my god, it's terrible. But they had to do it because it wouldn't make any sense in the future, kind of thing. If he had the Scottish and they went from Scottish to what Alec Guinness did, it wouldn't flow. So they had to do it, and he did an alright job. He didn't completely, obliterate it. No. But that's Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for my behavior, Master. It's not my place to disagree with you about the boy. And I am grateful you think I'm ready to take the trials.
You've been a good apprentice, Obi-Wan.
Right.
The final one.
The final one.
I think you've all guessed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you all guessed. Number 1 is...
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul.
such a great character.
He is
criminally underused.
He is underused.
He looks evil, yellow eyes.
He looks like the devil.
Yeah, yellow eyes, yellow teeth, horns. You know, apparently that stuff on his face isn't his natural. It's actually tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, his makeup, but in the Star Wars, that is actually meant to be tattoos. He's got it all over his body. So tattoos all over your body is quite painful, I imagine. Yeah, he's just such a cool character, and I suppose in one way, if he did do more, even though probably a lot of fans would want him to do more, if he did, with George Lucas writing the script, it might have been really disappointing.
Yeah, so he only had a few lines, and they weren't the greatest lines in the world.
He wasn't in it a lot,
they
but
had
maybe
to keep him mysterious, and they had to make him the one like people are rooting for. It's like, who is that character kind of thing? I want to see more of him. So you're rooting for him, and at the end, it's like, bang, there he is, kind of thing.
I think that might be one of the reasons why he might appeal so much is because he was so underused. Whereas, like I said, if he had been used a lot more, he might have actually been ruined.
Yeah, like the reason Boba Fett's so popular, because he was in a scene for like how long? Stupid amount of time. But we were like, who's that character? Who's that character?
I like him.
He's my favourite thing in the whole world, even though he wasn't even hardly in it that much, kind of thing.
Apparently, it was the Star Wars special where he was introduced.
There you go.
He was in that a lot.
But
he was in quite a bit of that.
Yeah, so he was not very used, Darth Maul, but he was the face. Because every merchandise, most of the merchandise you ever saw, it was always Darth Maul's face, because he had such a. From all the characters in the whole movie, he stood out so much more than everybody else. He looked so different, and nobody else looked like him whatsoever. So he just looked brilliant, and the double lightsaber.
Yeah, it's just his whole presence. He just seemed like he looks menacing. He looks.
And it's probably
evil.
even better that he doesn't say a lot, because that makes you think, what's he thinking?
Yeah.
Because he just looks angry, looks nasty. If he was chatting to you, telling you plots about things, you think, oh, he's ruined the character now. I liked him when he was all silent, because the more silent they are, the more. You don't know what they're going to do next, because they're not telling you what they're going to do next, kind of thing. So I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes them more of an imposing figure if they're just not talking to you. Because the whole battle scene didn't say a word, did he?
No.
How horrible would it be if someone's battering you and he's not talking to you whatsoever? You'd go crazy, wouldn't you?
Even when he's got Obi-Wan at his mercy, he's not like, ha, I have you now.
Yeah, kind of thing. He's just staring at him looking evil, kind of thing.
Kill you.
So it kind of makes a perfect character like that. And a perfect bad guy doesn't talk. Like you see all the serial killers in the movie, don't say a word, and you love them for that kind of thing. So yeah, he's kind of like that in a way. So yeah, he is number one.
He is number one.
He's the thing that I'm not saying saved Phantom Menace, because nothing can save Phantom Menace, but he's the thing that did help Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
If he wasn't in it,
it would have been even worse.
I don't think it would have even been episode 2. I don't know. It would have flopped completely. But yeah, he did well. Yeah. And I don't know what else the actor's been in. Has he been in anything else ever?
He was the Headless Horseman in Sleepy Hollow, and he was Toad in X-Men.
He was Toad?
Yeah.
I can see the familiarity in the face now. I did not know that. So he's more of a makeup kind of.
He is more of a stunt.
Yeah, he's one of those people that you see in loads of movies, but you have no idea who he is, kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, good. I like him. But yeah, that is Darth Maul, number one. Let us know in the comments below if you actually agree with the list. What would your list be? And like, comment, subscribe, etc. And I really hope you enjoyed this Odd Tops on Star Wars The Phantom Menace. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.